few weeks ago, I was eating dinner with one of my favorite people in the world. He has an ex that's been stalking him for quite some time now.
He had many mistresses while we were married, but the most annoying one is a realtor.
And not only is this person saying crazy things, making up atrocious lies, throwing out all these accusations. As far as I know, they never signed a marriage certificate. A lot of the stuff she says about how they were married and all these things aren't even the case.
My husband's realtor mistress is online being crazy as well as defamatory.
When I first saw the video, I was like, bro, clearly upgraded. Scroll.
I think that's an immediate thought that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
5.5 weeks ago, my husband violently, physically assaulted me at our shared place of work.
Because I'm going to say it. Like, they'll say there's never a time or a place to hit a woman. I've seen it on the internet 100 times where there's a time and place for a woman to get knocked out.
A lot of my guy friends, even some of my ex-boyfriends, have texted me and they're like, dude, this bitch is nuts.
I'm going to be chatting with you guys about a little bit of a situation on TikTok that I came across. If you haven't seen the situation with Elizabeth Anna and Celeste Hamilton, stick around because there is it's a lot. It's a lot. I came across one video from Elizabeth, and it was one of those things where I saw it and then I just had to go through every single other video. I had to see the other person's side. There was a podcast, there's allegations thrown, there's mugshots. There's a lot. Okay, so people are comparing this situation to Elizabeth Teckenbrock, which is interesting. I don't think this is a similar situation, but you know, let's go through everything and you tell me. If you hadn't heard about this story, don't worry, I am going to go through a bit of the background. Just a quick disclaimer, a lot of this is alleged information. It's stuff that's publicly posted to TikTok or Instagram or police records, okay? So let's just start at the beginning. This is Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is a 30-year-old woman in Texas. Trigger warning, I am going to be talking about some sensitive topics here. She just posted a video about how she's going through a divorce with her husband because she discovered that he had allegedly been cheating on her throughout their entire 7-year relationship and has numerous mistresses. Upon finding out this information, brought it to him where he allegedly physically assaulted her.
So I've been with my husband since 2019. Together over 6 years, married 2 years. It's almost my 2-year anniversary. And operating a business together for over 4 years. And 3 weeks ago, he violently assaulted me at work. And if a description of that is going to trigger you, I recommend you stop watching now.
Elizabeth goes on to describe the events that she's claiming to have taken place, and unfortunately I'm not able to include that audio because it is quite graphic. If you do want to listen to her story, definitely go to her page to view the full video.
You want to know why I asked him if he was cheating on me, and he denied it. Guess what? I was right. He's been cheating on me he's been having affairs and committing adultery for so long of our marriage and our relationship prior, and I just didn't know. And the craziest part is that I don't know why this part hurts me the most. It's just like so much grief to get through, but it's been less than 3 weeks and he's already got her in my house. And I chose not to be in my house directly after everything happened because of how violent he is and all the threats he's made against me before. And
Just to be clear, he was charged for physically assaulting her. To my knowledge, he has not yet been convicted. Just because he hasn't yet been convicted doesn't mean he isn't going to be convicted in the future. She just posted a video about how her court date was again pushed. That being said, it also doesn't necessarily mean that he will be convicted in the future. So Elizabeth has gained a bit of a following on TikTok. She's at just over 90,000 followers. She has built a fairly strong community of women who have either been in similar situations as her or are just there to support her while she is navigating this divorce and the court hearings and basically all of this stress in her life. She posts about her 12-year-old dog. She shares little anecdotes in her life. She's got a bit of a mix of content. She's a really good storyteller, you know. She's quite animated. She's got a little bit of like a zesty attitude. And she seems like she is trying to kind of like stay positive about a very negative situation.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry to do the jump scare this early in the video, but I just stumbled upon a TikTok that Elizabeth posted right after she posted that one. She has this one pinned to the top of her page. That's why I was able to find it. It was posted originally in February, but I found one that she posted right after. And apparently within 1 hour of her posting this video, the woman in question actually commented right on the video, and it shows a screenshot. So I just want to show you that TikTok right now, just so that we all are kind of on the same page.
So at the end of the day, the person that I really hold accountable for the adultery in my marriage is my husband, because he's the one who is married to me, who made vows to me, and who should have never made himself available to another woman. So I was going to leave anyone else involved out of it. And the woman I mentioned in my main post that's been getting a lot of attention just commented on my post. So I'm going to put that in right here.
So here we can see an account with the initials CH, and it says, the only thing she's been trying to do is empty his. I'm not entirely sure what that means. It's possible that she was going to say bank account, because that would make sense since Elizabeth and her husband own several businesses together, I believe. But I don't know. I'm not in her brain, right? I don't know what she was going to say. I don't know what she was alluding to. But she says, y'all need to stop believing everything you see on the internet without some sort of proof. Yeah, I personally do believe that this is from the woman in question. It's the way that she is speaking, or typing, I guess, in this comment. It's pretty on track with the way that she actually speaks. And you'll see that later when we go over her TikToks. And the reason why I'm saying that is because at one point she does mention that there's been fake profiles made of her. And I don't think that this one is fake. I think this is actually her.
So Elizabeth started a series on TikTok called The Cheater Chronicles. In these stories, she explains how she discovered the cheating, gives a little bit of information about the women involved. She makes sure to give them nicknames, so she's not sharing too much personal detail, but she does usually give them a nickname that's related to the job that they're in.
Let's talk about another one of my husband's mistresses, the nail tech. Welcome back. Let's talk about another one of my husband's mistresses. This mistress she's a social worker. She works at the family shelter in town. Mistress number 6 of my husband's, the girl's girl.
In part 2, she talks about the realtor. So the realtor, she explains, is the most annoying out of all of the mistresses because of how involved she wants to be in her life, that she is commenting on her social media, that she won't leave her alone.
She is the most annoying because of how involved she wants to be in my life and my social media, actively commenting and doing other things to my family that we'll talk about a little bit later. She already wrecked the home. She can have that horrible man. She does not have the right to come on my page and determine how I grieve and have the audacity to call me a liar when all of the things I'm saying about the man that she so desperately wants to be with has done to me, right? So her first lie for a while was that she had never been in a home of mine. She's actively taken photos in my marital home and puts them on her social media, and that's still happening.
Once I heard that they were photos, I had to try to find them. So these are posted in one of Elizabeth's other TikToks. I don't know why she didn't post them to this one. It would have made it a lot easier, but this is the realtor that she's talking about. So she's taking a selfie in the mirror. This is inside Liz and her husband's home, which Liz obviously is no longer staying in. The realtor appears to be holding a large bag. I don't know if she's maybe going traveling or maybe to the gym later. To me, it looks like an overnight bag, but obviously, I don't know what it could be. And then Liz just added a picture of herself in the mirror just to kind of prove like this is her house, and it has like, obviously it's the same mirror, it's the same picture in the background, it's the same place.
One of her new lies is that they were never dating, never sleeping together. For one, when I left my husband, he sent me a very nasty text message confirming that he had been dating her, and multiple people in town knew about it the whole time. 2, my husband is actively distributing naked photos of this woman around town. Let's make the argument sake that she doesn't know he's showing that to people and he's doing that non-consensually. She should follow us up like with her legal rights there. He's also been defending his lie that he never me. Let's be clear. No one can validate whether that did or did not happen. Their opinions don't matter. He did me, and he's been doing so for years, and something that his mistress says doesn't change that. I find it interesting because apparently he's also been to her, so I don't know why she would be comfortable defending the lie that he didn't know me while he is also hurting her. And the last little bit of tea about this girl who wants to say she was never dating him, while they were dating, while we were actively married, he broke up with her at one point, off and on, I guess. And she went to our shop, our workplace, and busted out the window of one of his trucks that I paid for.
There are a lot of accusations thrown in one video. She's saying that she's cheated with her husband, that there's nude photos of her going around, that she smashed in the window of her truck, that she has also experienced violence from this man. There's a lot of really serious allegations just thrown in one video. So Celeste is the realtor. So obviously I had to go to her TikTok page and take a look and see what she's about. She doesn't have a lot of TikToks posted, but I did notice most of them were in reference to Elizabeth or her husband, which I thought was quite interesting. One of the first posts that she has, mind you, I don't know if she's gone and deleted a bunch. One of the first TikToks that she has kept on her page is a screenshot of a message thread between her and Liz's husband. Personally, in my opinion, I think that it is a very flirty message. Here, I'll read it to you here. So it's like a series of voice notes. We can only hear the one voice note, but it starts with saying, LOL, low-key turned on, I manhandled you. And then she sends a voice note back. He says, send me the address. I'm welcome. Literally was about to go to jail for your ass. And then he sends a voice note about, like, I guess a little inside joke that they have or whatever.
This is one for the books. I'm always going to tell you. Remember that time that cop fell the fuck in love with you and she's trying to arrest me?
Listen, I would never say to a friend, I was turned on from manhandling you. That would never be like a thought that would enter my head. It's not something that I would ever say to anybody that I was not interested in or in a relationship with. I don't know. Would you? I don't think that that's something that you really just like say. Maybe they do have like a really flirty relationship, but that's not something that I know I would be comfortable with if I was married. And it's obviously not something that Elizabeth was comfortable with because she clearly is taking this conversation, probably among other things, but at least this conversation and putting two and two together that her husband and this lady, you know, had some going on more than friendship, right? Allegedly, in my opinion. There are a few other posts where she is kind of where she just says like very broad statements like, there has to be a direct correlation between the overconsumption of Diet Coke and brain rot. Somebody said, that's what all the Democrats/liberals drink, and she liked that comment. Elizabeth says, a Diet Coke enthusiast on her Instagram page.
Liz and Michael had court on a Thursday. She's pursuing a protective order while stalking him. They're trying to say that he was in the front yard and he needs to be arrested. And
we've been dealing for this for 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
It's just frustrating because like we're all just here in mind.
We've been dealing with this for 12 weeks. To me, in my personal opinion, implies that they have at least been together, dealing with this together for 12 weeks. That's 3 months, right? At least.
It's happened 2 days ago. This is already starting. This is ridiculous.
So that's
Also, she was there 2 days ago. So I'm assuming she's there quite often, right? If she knows how often this is happening.
y'all, I've never met this girl in my life, ever. I would not even have recognized her from Bob on the street until she started making videos about me, coming for me. I've never spoken to her. She never tried to reach out to me, anything like that. It was just accusations. So until she started making TikTok videos about me and just the defamation stuff, which yes, we've already started a whole case. She's got, I think, 6 coming.
I'm pausing these quickly just to point out a couple of things. So Celeste here, she may actually have quite a few cases against Elizabeth if in fact the statements Elizabeth has made are not true. Some people are arguing, well, Elizabeth hasn't actually said her name at all in any of these accusations. It's just been assumed, and Celeste has come forward and kind of outed herself. But apparently, you don't necessarily even have to say their name in order to defame someone. You just have to give enough details about their personal life that people are able to put 2 and 2 together. Because Celeste did comment on the posts, and she basically did out herself. But the continuation of the accusations and everything, that's where it gets complicated. So I'm interested to know if actually any defamation cases will come out of this.
But Anyways, so I ordered this helmet on Amazon, so I'm not sure how great it's gonna be.
Sorry, pausing this one for just a moment. So she's unpacking a helmet for a motorcycle, right? Not saying that there's any correlation, but Michael, Elizabeth's husband, does drive a motorcycle. So that's just a little, an interesting thing to post. Maybe she has a motorcycle. I haven't seen anything in her posts about her having a motorcycle. She seems to just have cars. Or perhaps she has like a friend that drives a motorcycle and she wants to ride with them. But anyway, back to the video.
But the color's sick. So anyways, hopefully she can get a job soon. She's unemployed, but she filed for unemployment. It got denied because of the mess her girlfriend made.
There's another TikTok of a guy carrying a motorcycle helmet.
Some of us are caked up.
And she in the comments says Liz will probably try to say this is her husband. Disclaimer, it is not.
And not only is this person saying crazy things, making up atrocious lies, throwing out all these accusations, accusing multiple women, not just me, but a lot of others too, of these things. And so when people will see her videos, they don't do research. They don't know who this person is. They don't know her personality. You can see from her videos, I think, if you have common sense, it's pretty obvious. There's a very evil aura in how she presents herself and how she behaves. But a lot of people out there just blindly support. And so then I get messages like this, which none of this is accurate or true, but this is what it.
So she kind of like abruptly cuts to this. So it's a screenshot of a text message she received. The number is blocked. She did cut the number out, but I am going to blur the message because it says some very unkind things to Celeste and has details like about the situation, about the rumors going on about her. And at the end of the day, like, we don't really know what happened. We don't know these people. So bullying and harassing online, it's never okay. I don't know, obviously, who sent this text message. We don't know who it came from. It could be just like some random stranger on the internet.
Somebody that comments on her TikTok post, and it's an account linked to her email address.
She goes back and forth throughout her videos. She is getting involved, like, hey, I'm the one you're talking about.
My husband's realtor mistress is online being batshit crazy as well as defamatory. So let's go through it together, besties.
A few weeks ago, I was eating dinner with one of my favorite people in the world. And we were sitting on a patio outside, and he has an ex that's been stalking him for quite some time now. He's been trying to get divorced for over a year.
All right, my husband has never tried to get divorced from me. I left him 12 weeks ago at that point, he was still begging me to not divorce him, to come back. He would do anything. I was the only family he wanted, yada, yada. I've shown you the text before. Here they are again.
Basically, it's just Liz's husband, Michael, apologizing, asking for forgiveness, saying he loves her, that kind of thing.
She's made it very, very difficult, the entire process. But anyways, so her name is Liz, and
he has dragged out court from not just 1 to 4 times already just for the protective order, and has made no moves for the divorce. I am the only one moving, and he is taking the maximum amount of time allowed to respond to everything because he doesn't want to be divorced.
We're sitting, and he's like, Liz's car just drove by, and now here it comes again. And I was like, are you serious? He's like,
I have not driven that Kia Telluride since last year, 2025. I think it's funny that she wants to double down on the fact that I was there and she saw me in the car. Baby girl needs her eyes checked. I was not in that car. I was letting a friend's friend who was in town borrow it because I'm fortunate enough to have an extra car. And so it was, my friend and then her other friend in the car. But again, she's a liar. It's just the things she wants to double down on are extra funny because I was 100% not in that vehicle. And it's just more convenient to her narrative if I was.
I was able to see the plates. And her girlfriend, who she's been dating for, I think, over a year now. I don't know the exact time frame on that. It might be a little bit longer. But
do you remember how I told you guys my husband was telling people I'm a lesbian? Because that's the only reason he could fathom a woman would want to leave him. Still not lesbian. This girl unfortunately can't understand having good girlfriends, like friends that are girls, because she doesn't have any. But yeah, still not gay, still not dating a girl.
So I told him, I was like, just wait 30 minutes and it's going to be on TikTok and we can just call the cops and do a police report that she's in contempt of court. That's exactly what we did.
Another rumor I didn't even know about, that I've been held in contempt of court. Up to this point, we're 12 weeks since I've left my husband, I have had 0 legal repercussions, actions taken against me, and I've certainly not been held in contempt of court. The only person with restrictions, boundaries on their movements, who they are and aren't allowed to talk to, is my husband. Because he's the violent offender. He's the one who's not allowed to communicate me, be within 200 yards of me, yada, yada. But just to set the record straight for everyone, I have never done anything illegal. I'm not doing anything illegal now. And I've certainly never been held in contempt of court or even threatened, or contempt of court's never been mentioned to me, ever.
She tries to say that random people in her hometown are sending her videos of her ex out. And she also states in the video that he was being aggressive towards me. That's me in the video. I can tell you, he was not being aggressive. We were having a fantastic dinner until the stalkers came by. But anyways, so she double downs and she says that people send her stuff and that, you know, she's not going and seeking it, but I'm here to clarify. She's definitely seeking it. I'm the person in that video and I saw her driving.
I'm not lying when I tell you guys she's a bag of nuts. The thing is, my husband probably is lying to her, but at this point, like, babe, I have a protective order in place because of how violent he was to me. He's not allowed to contact me. He's not allowed to be within 200 yards of me. He's not allowed to own a weapon. Like, I'm sorry, the writing's on the wall. If a man has done that to another woman, and he was cheating on me the whole time with her, right? And she knows that. There's a reason she was hiding out in our Fort Worth house, not in our main house. Oh, because he lived there with his wife. I don't know. The whole thing is just, at the end of the day, I know I'm not going to change her opinion. She is hell-bent on being ignorant, and she's doing it well, but it is just crazy the amount of re-victimization that continues to happen, and this is another little glimpse of it.
Okay, so you kind of get the gist, right? She posted about this woman. This woman came online and is now calling Elizabeth crazy. She's saying she's a stalker, that she's a lesbian, I guess. Then Celeste decides to go on this podcast. So the reason why Celeste decided to go on this podcast is because she is claiming that Liz destroyed her life. The podcast is titled Realtor's Life Destroyed by False Mistress. I'm assuming it says allegations. I can't see past that.
I'm still shocked that my broker terminated our relationship based on the reason given. They've terminated based on the drama, which has been made very clear. It was for no other reason other than the TikTok harassment coming in. Yes, you saw the text.
Yeah.
And they had to turn off their comments on ERA. Well, I don't think that's probably the first time they've had to do that. And the reviews was a big thing. Her leaving nasty reviews, which none of these people have ever used me as an actual, that it's not based on anything real.
Right.
A lot of the calls and stuff, they may not necessarily be directly from her herself, but they are from people seeing her content. So it's all comes from one spot.
She's got more public information posted online on different websites than Liz has even touched on. So Liz just called her realtor mistress. And then once Celeste responded and kind of outed herself, it's not like she posted personal information that was not publicly posted online already. Her name on Instagram is literally her first and last name. It's Celeste Hamilton. And it still is publicly posted everywhere, as well as on her LinkedIn, on all of her several realtor websites. You could argue that her social media, the screenshot of her social media was posted maliciously. But I would argue that the photo of Celeste in her husband's house was posted maliciously. So I don't know. Do I think it was deserved? I don't know. Do I think it's illegal? I don't know. The state of Texas. If anybody studies law in the state of Texas, do let me know because I'm curious. But from what I understand, it's public information, so it's not considered doxing.
The allegations of y'all dating, going
Not
on
true.
dates.
I will say her ex-husband, and any man in this world that knows me knows that in order to be in a relationship with me, they would have to be single and not divorced. Okay,
Right.
That's out there. That's very, for my own standards. That's why it's almost laughable when I hear some of the accusations, because I'm like, I just would never be with somebody that's married.
Right.
Like, it's just not, it doesn't track. But yeah, that fact that I got fired for any other reason than her.
She's denying the allegations, right? That she was never dating
the husband. She was never in a relationship with the husband. I didn't hear any clarification that she never slept with him, because you can sleep with people and not be in a relationship with them, like not date them or whatever. I'm not saying that she did. I just didn't hear her clarify that.
Because it is her.
You've seen the text. I saw the text. Like it was.
That is the main thing I want to clear up, I think, now, because the other stuff, people are going to think what they want to think. But like you said, these are facts. My job is a fact. I've done it for this long. My clients can speak for me. And they would have never known her to ever. But because of this, now I've had to go and make these phone calls and be like, hey, there's a crazy lady talking on the internet. And they go and look and they come back to me and they say, oh my God, I'm sorry you're going through this. How can we help?
Then they mention a text message and that they were going to clarify it, but then they literally just like never clarified anything about it, which was a little bit frustrating.
You knew her before you knew him before that.
I knew him, for the last 8 years. I never knew her. I never met her.
She says that she's been best friends with him for 8 years, right? The husband for 8 years, but has never met Liz.
As far as I know, they never signed a marriage certificate. Like a lot of the stuff she says about how they were married and all these things aren't even the case, the situation.
So is there a divorce ongoing?
She filed.
So I'm just going to show you some clips of their actual wedding. This is on Instagram. This is on TikTok and Instagram publicly. This is Elizabeth wearing a beautiful engagement and wedding ring. This is her in her wedding dress. This is her and Michael. They're celebrating just getting married. So I don't understand why Celeste is saying that they never got married when it's like, it's there. I found this on TikTok. I just went through TikTok and I found it, and it's on Instagram. So what do you mean they're not married? What do you mean they're not actually married?
They're common law marriage.
Oh, well, that's easy. Me and you can be common law married after this.
Exactly. And so hopefully that will all come out in court. Like I said, I really can't speak on it, but there's a lot of accusations. Like,
I don't really understand what the point of her even saying that is. Like, does it really make a difference whether they're common law married or whether they signed a marriage certificate or had an officiant? So I did double check. Even in the state of Texas, common law marriage is still considered marriage, whether or not they signed an actual marriage certificate. If they are claiming common law, they don't even need to have a wedding. They're married, right? They're legally married in the state of Texas. But they clearly also had a wedding, whether or not they signed a certificate, which Elizabeth does clarify. Like, they actually did get married. Like, they signed a marriage certificate. They are legally married. And they obviously had a wedding and everything. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Even if they were not technically legally like marriage certificate, officiant, married, they were still in a relationship. Like, regardless, they were still in a relationship. And it's just weird that she points out that she thinks that they weren't actually married, as if that matters. That's a very peculiar thing to say. It's a very peculiar thing to point out, in my opinion.
And
I've never defended any sort of abuse ever. I just know how things work, and I know how things can be misconstrued.
Dude, I'm going to say it, because I'm going to say it. Like, they'll say there's never a time or a place to hit a woman. I've seen it on the internet 100 times where there's a time and place for a woman to get knocked out.
What an absolute vile thing to say. Not only to say out loud, but to post on the internet. And this woman is sitting across from him, laughing and agreeing with him.
And they're attacked. There's that lady that attacked that little kid. Like, there's women that attack men like with weapons. Yeah. And like, I'm like, I don't know what was going on at that moment in time.
You don't know. And someone with a brother, I've always worried about women, because I'm a woman. I know how crazy we are. And and I'm crazy. For me to say someone else is crazy, that's saying something. Well, but women rage bait all the time. And this is a clear case of that, in my opinion. And
well, the other thing, like, I know that I don't know this guy, but I know what a guy could do to a female.
Oh, 100%.
And it ain't bruises on the arm where you get grabbed because you look thick in the arm. I mean, you can grab my arm and leave a bruise right now.
No. Okay, absolutely not. There's never a time and place to put your hands on anybody else. I don't care if you're a woman or a man or who it is. You do not put your hands on other people.
You do not. If you're getting upset, you remove yourself from the situation. The fact that he's defending it, the fact that it was just small bruises, you should not be bruising anybody. You should not be bruising people. You shouldn't be grabbing them so hard that it leaves a bruise. Do you know how hard you have to grab somebody to leave a bruise? Liz does have photos posted of the bruises. They are bruises.
Right. So, I mean, I know what an ass whooping looks like, and it don't look like bruises on an arm. So
I feel like we should be deeply concerned here. Is he in a relationship? Does he have like a girlfriend or a wife right now?
call the cops and you can go to jail.
Yes.
It's not very hard to do.
And a lot of times the person who calls the cops is the one that's not the victim, or that is the victim. They more so don't want to get that other person in trouble.
Right.
And then somebody has decided, I'm done with this. I'm ruining your life, which is what she said word for word.
Isn't that exactly what happened? Liz was the victim and she called the police? That's exactly what happened. What's the point she's trying to make here?
There's got to be a group message because
there's
my
for
video,
sure a group chat for sure.
My video has no views. It probably has more likes on hateful comments towards me.
Yes, the minions.
than it does views. And then I've got just sows from like the Northeast, just absolute pigs, messaging me how ugly I am on the internet, and I'm like, screenshot. Ditto, bitch.
Yeah.
Like
when I first started getting the hate messages, now I don't even read them. But when it first started really took off in February, a lot of the people I would go click on their profile and it's just purple haired, mean, angry people.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? I kind of don't care if you don't like. That saved me. If you don't like me, then I'm doing something right in my mind. So, I mean, I sleep well at night knowing that I haven't done anything that's morally wrong in my book.
Right.
Listen, I'm not one to comment on people's appearance, but he is out there calling women pigs and sows. I don't need to say anything. You got eyes. I don't need to say anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're the most pretty girl in the room. So when she hates on you,
yeah, it comes. And I think it's a lot of women who have also been cheated on or gone through things, which we all have been. I've been through, no one knows all the things that I've been through, but we've all been through that. But I noticed it's mostly women who are like, they've been wronged. And so it's using their own things, putting in a situation they have no idea about. These people don't know my life. They don't know anything about me.
Yeah.
But they think they do because it reminds them of a situation that they've gone through.
Well,
oh, no, Celeste, we think we know about you because of how you present yourself online, calling people with purple hair, laughing when a man calls women sows and pigs, agreeing that women deserve to be hit depending on the situation. Posting screenshots of you flirtatiously messaging a married man and then being at his house every single day while apparently you are not in a relationship with them. That is what people are judging you on, I would say.
Yeah, she's going to fall apart. It's going to be like Kamala Harris during the election.
Yes.
Like Kamala, you can get a soundbite out of Kamala, but you can't sit down and do Joe Rogan with Kamala.
Yeah.
And so it's not. And
that's another thing I do want to say for women who.
She says Liz is claiming to be sober, yet she is drinking on Instagram.
And on Instagram, she's
out the week
drunk.
after the alleged domestic went down, has since posted with drinks. I know they make mocktails and stuff right now, and I think that's kind of the way she's going about it is, they're mocktails. Well, there's also pictures with wine. I don't know, maybe they have mocktails, wine. Either way, it doesn't sit right.
No, it doesn't. Well, that's what I told her when she messaged me. I was like, look, you're provably lying about this
multiple
real estate
things
license.
already, yeah.
Like, I can see that.
Now, I did go take a look at Liz's Instagram. It does say at the top, Diet Coke enthusiast. And she does briefly talk about her sobriety journey. So she's been sober for 2026 so far, from what I understand. There are some pictures of her on Instagram holding cute little drinks, but you can't really tell from the photo whether those are alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Liz says that they're mocktails and says that she has been sober. And I don't really see how it's relevant regardless, because as she points out, like, she's allowed to drink if she wants to. She's choosing to be sober, so it's none of Celeste's business whether or not she's sober or not. Why is that relevant? Because there is a mugshot circulating of Liz for getting arrested. She was arrested for driving under the influence. The arrest in question is actually from 8 years ago. So she was 22 years old. She was driving under the influence.
If you look me up, the arrest you can see is from 2018. That's what they're circling around, and it is for a DWI. That's what I was arrested for. I completed a pretrial diversion. I went on probation for 9 months, and that's the end of that story. And I was a first-time offender. Let's talk about that, though. I take that very seriously. I have not driven a vehicle drunk since then. This was 8-9 years ago.
She made a TikTok explaining that she did make a mistake when she was younger. She does deeply regret it. She understands the impact that it has. But there is a mugshot circulating from that arrest, and it's like enforcing the points that Celeste is trying to make, that Liz is a crazy person, like she's a stalker and whatever. And then people see this mugshot in the comments and they're like, oh my God, Celeste is right. Like, she is crazy. She was arrested. Every time someone posts her mugshot, she will like the comment. In an interesting turn of events, I'm going to point out this comment from Celeste. So it says, the difference is I don't lie about it. And that's in reference to Liz allegedly lying about her DWI, right? Okay, when I tell you I had to do a double take, apparently Liz is not the only one who has an arrest record.
In Texas, and I can speak from experience, if you are in a domestic and somebody calls the cops, one person is going to jail.
100% of the time.
One of the two are going to jail
100%
no
of the
matter
time.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
There's another mugshot going around that is actually of Celeste, aka Christy. Christy Celeste Hamilton is her name. I mean, at least it looks like her. I wasn't able to verify whether this mugshot is true, and I couldn't find any videos or any information from Celeste acknowledging it or explaining. It looks like it's from 2017. I did try to run it through Google reverse search, and Google said that it appears to be a screenshot of the records from the police department or whatever. It says, Christy Celeste Hamilton arrested for assault causes bodily injury, family violence. And if you look it up on Google, there are several posts on the San Angelo Police Facebook that do include her name in the description with that description. But it seems like the posts were actually removed from Facebook. So I don't know. I'm not able to confirm it. So at this point, it's just alleged.
Like the whole thing about this situation for me was you lost your form of living. I went back and scrolled back on your TikTok. Your dad's a part of your TikTok. Mm-hmm. Classic cars are a part of your TikTok. Like, you have a father. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have a relationship with him. Mm-hmm. I think most of the women that are probably really angry ain't got no daddy.
You know what? I didn't even think of it that way. You're so right.
Like, they have nothing better to do. Because if I saw my daughter lashing out at somebody, I would, girl.
If I was doing the things that she's doing and posting 3 to 5 times a day, every day for months.
So he's insinuating that Liz doesn't have a relationship with her father because she's lashing out on the internet and, you know, saying, oh, well, Celeste, you have a relationship with your father because of the 2 TikToks that I saw on your page. He fully admits, I didn't go watch any of Liz's TikToks, which he didn't, because if he did, he would have known that Liz actually lives on the same street as her father, and they do have a relationship.
Is that my dad and I are neighbors, our houses. So the home I'm not in right now because my husband's in it. There's a house or two between us and my dad. So
this whole point is irrelevant, but he's trying to say that, you know, Celeste, you do have a relationship with your father because you posted him on your TikTok twice. And so you would never do anything as crazy as this. She's the crazy person because she doesn't have a father, doesn't have a relationship with her father.
This ain't the move.
This ain't it.
This ain't the move, sweetheart. Come over here and talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, talk to your family.
Yeah.
This ain't it. Like, yeah, the situation you were in sucks. Should have left sooner. Should have done this. Should have done that.
A lot of shouldas.
but we're not going to go attack.
He says the situation you were in sucks, should have left a lot sooner. This whole thing is just so confusing. They're saying they're lies. They're saying she's crazy, but they're also saying, well, you should have left. They're blaming her for not leaving sooner. It takes a victim an average of 7 times to leave a bad relationship. And I'm saying bad in replace of the word that starts with A, right? We know it's not that easy. It's not so black and white. You're not just able to get up and leave. It is so complicated.
The few people who have said anything along the lines of, you should have left the first time, I would have left the first time. I'm rating your empathy as 0. But at the same time, I am so grateful that you have never been in that type of relationship with a manipulative narcissist. I'm so glad that you cannot understand why someone wouldn't leave the first time because it means you haven't been there. And for that, I'm grateful. because no one deserves it. You know, I'm not a person who chooses to live in regret. Do I wish I left the first time? Obviously, right? But regret isn't going to change anything for me. All I can do is impact my choices moving forward. And the choice I've made and I'm moving forward with is the one to leave, to be free, to get a divorce.
She's explained in other TikToks as well. He would manipulate her. He would lie to her. They would get into these altercations. He would apologize. He'd be crying. He'd be on his knees saying, you know, he'll never do it again. He'll love bomb her, get her back, and just like reel her back in. They would continue. Things would be good. And then like things would slowly start happening over again. And it's a cycle. It emotionally breaks you down. It psychologically breaks you down. You cannot think clearly. It's almost like you've heard of Stockholm syndrome, right? Where people who are kidnapped, they eventually just become obedient. They become docile. They, they learn to kind of cope in whatever ways that you can. Their brain chemistry physically changes over time. You become a different person. Like the longer you are in these relationships, it's not as easy as just leaving.
Other people on the internet.
Yeah, especially women who are saying, okay, this guy's a horrible guy. We want to protect other women. That's literally the opposite of what you're doing. Most of the hate messages I've gotten have been wishing him to hurt me physically.
Yeah.
Pausing again here quickly, guys. I haven't personally seen any of those messages. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I just wanted to quickly reiterate what I said before. Sending hate messages, bullying on the internet, especially any sort of like threatening messages, potentially harmful messages. It doesn't matter who did what. If any of these things really happen, at the end of the day, we should never be sending harmful messages to each other. You never know what other people are going through and what they do present online. We are not these people, right? We don't know what is really happening. We can only speculate. And sending messages, especially harmful or hurtful messages, is just not productive.
For what? TikTok clout?
And to try to take down somebody that wronged me.
Yeah, like somebody that wronged you, like you knew him before she knew him. Like it doesn't like the mistress, this and that, like all of that aside, like you don't go ruin somebody's life.
No, and you take accountability. You chose to marry this person even after you had already had issues. That's on you.
Yeah, allegedly. But
so now she's saying that she did marry him and she chose to marry him, which like, did she marry him or did she not marry him? I'm confused. But she also married him knowing what he's like. So insinuating that he did do those things to her. And that she knew that she was like that. So did he do these things or did he not do these things? All of her points are conflicting, and it really just doesn't make sense. They're basically just sitting down and like talking shit to each other about everything. Like it's the weirdest thing to witness.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you got to look in the mirror. But plus,
100%.
like, what do you realize? What kind of psychopath is going to want to date her moving forward?
Oh, this is a conversation everyone in my life has had. They're like, she's never gonna have
it's gonna be the
girlfriend.
biggest Chad on planet Earth that's just like wanting to destroy a woman's life. Like there's not like I couldn't imagine watching that and going,
I want to date that.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's.
They're laughing about how she's gonna be single forever. I don't think that dating is really a priority for her right now. She's actively trying to get divorced and is telling her stories of trauma and physical violence.
I want to say you're one of the few males. It's been hundreds of females. Like I said, males aren't really, I don't think they care enough. But you're one of the few ones that stepped in and also said, what's going on is wrong. You need to say your part. Because everyone else told me just ignore it. It'll go away.
No. Lean in.
The use of males and females when talking about people, it's like, so we're thinking the same things, right? We're thinking the same things. Are we on the same page? Okay. Just want to make sure.
Lean in and don't lean in, tell your story. Be tasteful if you're a tasteful human. I'm not a tasteful human. I don't you come after me, I am going to be foul. And as far as one of the few males, I will tell you what it's like being a male with an old lady sitting at home watching women fight on the internet. Like what happens is if you comment, your old lady will see it.
Oh, that's so true. That's true.
And now you're about to have to.
And
Now
then I have
you
more
are in trouble.
problems.
Well, you might have more problems, but they definitely have problems.
yeah.
Like
You're
there's not a dude with an old lady that
Yeah.
can put that comment on there. They can hit a heart.
Yeah.
They can't see the hearts, but they cannot put a comment because then it'll be
World War
why do
III
you
at
care?
home.
well, I care. Like I was on when I first saw the video. I was like, bro, clearly upgraded.
Oh, so he was getting at that she's hot. What a weird thing to say.
It gets serious. Like I told the sheriffs multiple times that I'm fearful that she may hurt someone or hurt herself because of how like the emotions, they just keep going. And I'm out here working and trying to, move on, but I don't know when that's going to hit for her.
I hope that she does come to her senses. I hope that she sees clearly, because this is just so weird. And if that's not the case, if she is just being stubborn and trying to defend herself online, which very well could be the case, maybe she knew this whole time about Liz. Maybe she really is one of those people who just doesn't care and she's the other woman. Maybe Michael's telling her things that she just wants to hear and she's just going with it, thinking, oh, they're getting divorced. I mean, she did mention before that he had been trying to divorce her for a year, right? So she has known about Liz for at least a year, but then she's saying that she never knew. I am absolutely perplexed by this. Genuinely, I can't tell if she is just being stubborn and like standing her ground, trying to convince maybe herself and other people that Liz is crazy and Liz is a stalker. Because confidently saying somebody who never got married when their wedding photos are publicly posted, that to me is like, that's kind of like cuckoo, but to also know someone for 8 years and then to never meet, never hear about, never meet, never know the existence of their girlfriend/wife is very hard. It's very difficult to believe. That being said, if Michael is allegedly that good of a manipulator and a liar, like he was allegedly cheating on Liz for 7 years, I wouldn't put it past him to be lying and manipulating Celeste too, allegedly, in my opinion, and for her to fully be invested in it and to fully believe it, right? Because that's how these relationships work, right? They're built on lies, they're built on manipulations. You could see something in front of your face and not believe it because this person is telling you otherwise. So if that is the case, I kind of feel bad for her, to be honest. I feel bad for her, but it's just interesting. I don't know. There's just, right? There's a lot of contradictions. So that kind of leads me more towards the side that she knew the whole time. And it's just interesting. It is all very interesting. I mean, she's working for this guy now, so she doesn't have to worry about her job. That was a lot. Thank you guys for bearing with me. It was a lot of information. It was really jumbled because, like someone posts one thing and then they post another and then they're answering and then they're defending and it's just a lot. I tried my best to make it make sense. So I'm sorry if it didn't really make sense. I am going to be doing an update as soon as they do go to court. So if you are interested in that, don't forget to subscribe and follow along. I don't know when that's going to be happening. She just posted today that they were supposed to go to court and he got another extension. So I don't know, but when I do have an update, I will be sure to bring it on here. But thank you guys so much for following along. Don't forget to let me know what you think down below in the comments. And obviously, like if I missed something, let me know down below in the comments. I'm sure I missed quite a lot. There's just so much information about this, allegedly or not. Anyway, thank you guys for sticking around and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below for engagement, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.